Hello guys, and welcome to another tutorial by Rebecca Raistrick Photography. This tutorial aims to show you how you can turn an image like this with very imperfect pose into something a lot clearer and more professional. This is quite easy to do. It is time consuming, though. That's the only negative side of it, and you've just got to find using certain tools, you've just got to find what's best for you. Today we're going to be using mainly the smudge and the blur tools. They're quite effective in basic skin retouching, but I know a lot of high-end retouching does differ a little bit, and it all depends on what sort of purpose you want it for. This sort of shot would probably be best for like a beauty shot, either advertising makeup or something like that, and so we'll show you how you do it. So I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see that a pose and the shine's quite high on the photograph, and there's a few odd strands of hair as well, so we're going to show you how to rectify that. So we'll go to the smudge tool first, and I find it's best to just leave the opacity as 100% for now. But what you want to do is I'll just delete that. What you want to do is create a duplicate layer, and to do that all you do is go down the bottom and click on that little button, and it duplicates the layer and calls it copy. And as you can see, it's a direct copy as well. So what we're going to do is go on the smudge tool and keep it as 100, and you're just going to smudge all the areas that you want retouching. And don't worry about all of the little lines at the minute, these are easily rectifiable, and I'll show you how you do it. If you want to get really up close with your image, all you do is you go on the brush effect and you reduce the size of it like before. I want to stay on layers for now, so I'm just going to keep it at this size. I tend to find that to get rid of all of the little lines, it's best to smudge in a circular motion, just because it smudges it best and reduces the line appearance, so you get a much more flawless skin. Don't worry, it does get better, because when I first tried this method I was a little bit unsure of how it would finally work out, because I did think it looked like from a distance, and up close it looks horrendous. But with a few simple tweaks you can make it look perfect. So this is the bit that does take a lot of time. It's best to use a smaller or medium sized brush, just so you can get accurate smudges with the certain areas, because if you smudge it too much you do either get a little bit more lighting on it or just too many variety of shades, and it doesn't look realistic once you're finished. It's best to follow the curves of the skin as well. So from the nose you follow down, because that's the way that the skin forms naturally anyway. So like I say, keep using a circular motion, and if you've got eyeshadow underneath like what the model has here, just leave that for now and we'll come back to it later. So using the smudge tool even removes the excess hair that's on the model's face. Just where like loose strands have fallen across her face, and obviously you want the photo to be as perfect as possible, and you don't want little bits of fringe or anything in the way of your photograph. So this is the bit that takes a lot of the time, guys, but it is worth it in the end. So like I say, in a circular motion across the skin area that you want. And even though it looks patchy, it does sort itself out in a few further steps and forward, okay? You would obviously spend a lot more time on it. I'm just demonstrating the basic capabilities of it just for now. So the results do vary depending on how long you spend on it. For one photo I usually spend about 20 to 30 minutes on it. That's usually the best sort of time because you can get obviously the curves and stuff right as well with it at the same time using GIMP, which I find effective as well. You want to keep the lip detail and obviously the eye detail and eyebrows separate as well, just so that you can refine the detail later on it and make sure that none of the smudges interferes with the eyeshadow or eye detail or lip detail. So as you can see, the more time you spend on it, the better the results do get. I know that there's some perfect coloured skin here and the detail on it's still the same, but a lot of the cheekbones and things like that do differ depending on like the blush and things. So like I say guys, take as much time as you want on the photo because it is worthwhile in the very end. And after all, it is your portfolio and the model's portfolio as well, so the more time you spend on it, the more people will be interested in your photo because of the clarity and the detail on the skin. So it's not perfect, but I'll leave it like that for now and I'll zoom out. And as you can see, it looks more like a painting than skin smoothing for the minute. So what you can do is you change your opacity just at the top here and you can set it, and I find that about 45 to 50% works quite well depending on the kind of effect you want. Because this model's skin has a little bit of like freckles and scarring, I've just improved it to about 60%, and using the little eye tool, you click on it and you can see the before and after, and you can see that the detail on the skin and especially the pores is still there. And then if you create a new layer of the original one, and if you set usually names it as copy, and if you just reduce the opacity down to about 5 or 10%, you can touch the rest of the pores up using the smudge tool. There's lots of ways to skin smooth, but I do find this sort of method produces the best kind of results. And as you can see, we're still keeping the detail of the pores and everything. Because I find a lot of airbrush techniques, they make the model's skin look plastic-like, and it's not very realistic, especially in advertising. Though it is getting much better, and they are liking more simpler methods to skin smooth, because it does appeal to the consumer more. And another useful tool, which I'll not mention too much, is the blur and sharpen tool. I tend to use the blur tool more, and it's already set to blur. And just on this layer, you don't have to do it on the other layers. If you just blur again in a circular motion, it does improve the skin a little bit more. So keep using these tools until you're happy with them, and eventually, I'll zoom out a little bit, Eventually you will produce something like this. And like I say, this is just a very quick edit, and I'm not very happy with it, but the more time you spend on it, you can turn something like that into something like that. And as you can see, even this edit, it's took about 20 minutes to do, but you can see there is still some pores there, and the details still on the lips, the teeth, the nose and the eyes, all where it should be. And this sort of edit's great, especially if you're having a beauty shoot and you do want to have perfect skin and perfect makeup, because it does improve it and makes it more commercial and professional. So there you are guys, my skin smoothing tutorial. Thanks for watching, bye!